Welcome to another episode of Sports Catalog. The group stage have been loaded with good, bad, and ugly moments in the ongoing CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. What we witnessed in the past couple of weeks might be one of the most entertaining group stages of any tournament. Defending champions Senegal have been the only team to live up to expectations, winning all three of their group games. Some other bigger names on the continent such as Ghana, Tunisia, and Algeria are already out, while hosts Ivory Coast only just scraped through to the knockout rounds as one of the third-place teams. There have been other underdog stories, too. Namibia and Mauritania have both won their first-ever games at an Afcon during this group stage and qualified for the knockouts on the back of those wins. Amid all of this have been players putting in some heroic performances and catching the eye during a dramatic 12 days. One, Adel Amrouche, Tanzania. Tanzania suspended the Algerian Belgian after just one game. 2. Jamal Belmadi, Algeria. The 47-year-old parted ways with Algeria after an underwhelming campaign that culminated in an embarrassing defeat against Minnows, Mauritania. 3. Tom Saintfiet, the Gambia. Saintfiet resigned from his role after the Gambia were eliminated from Afcon in the group stage. 4. Chris Hughton, Ghana. Ghana's FA brutally sacked Hughton after the Black Stars were bundled out of the tournament in the group stages. 5. Jean-Louis Gasset, Ivory Coast. The Frenchman was sacked by Ivory Coast after their 4-0 defeat to Equatorial Guinea. This was the Elephants' heaviest home defeat in history, leaving them on the brink of being eliminated in the group stages. 6. Jalal Kadri, Tunisia. According to the BBC, Kadri announced he would be stepping down during his post-match interview after his side drew 0-0 against South Africa. Morocco coach Walid Regragui was given a 4-game ban, with 2 suspended, on Wednesday in response to heated scenes Sunday at the end of the team's Africa Cup of Nations game against Congo. The Confederation of African Football also imposed fines of $20,000 each on the soccer federations of Morocco and Congo, plus $5,000 on Regragui. CAF statement also said it fined the Moroccan Federation an additional $10,000 for the use of smoke bombs by its supporters during the match, with half the amount suspended. The Moroccan Federation said it will appeal CAF's unjust decision to ban Regragui because the coach did not commit any behavior that violates the spirit of sportsmanship. Walid Regragui will no longer have to pay the $5,000 fine imposed by CAF as the CAF Appeal Committee has cancelled its sanction after hearing the FRMF and the coach's side. Walid will also be on the touchline against Some journalists, including Nigerian journalists, were involved in an accident coming from Yamoussoukro to Abidjan for a game with the CAF official bus for media, but thankful, everyone is okay with some little bruises. The accident occurred around 2 a.m. on Wednesday, from Yamoussoukro to Abidjan, Ivory Coast's largest city and commercial center, where most media are staying to cover the soccer tournament. The bus driver and his assistant were the most seriously injured from the impact to the front of the bus. They were taken to a hospital in Tricqueville, Abidjan, for treatment. Several journalists were also treated for minor injuries. They had traveled to Yamoussoukro on buses organized by COCAN, the tournament's organizing committee, to cover the Senegal-Guinea and Angola-Burkina Faso games in Group C and D. The CAF Technical Study Group, TSG, of Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 has officially released the best 11 performing players of the group stages of the competition. Equatorial Guinea's shot stopper, Jesus Owono, emerged as the best goalkeeper of the group stage. Reigning CAF Young Footballer of the Year, Lamine Camara, scored the competition's first brace. He is selected as the best young footballer of the group stage. Aliou Cissé is the coach of the group stage after leading Senegal to 3 straight victories. The first time in the country's history, this is the best 11 of the Afcon 2023 group stage. In goal, Jesus Owono of Equatorial Guinea. In defense, the Moroccan duo of Achraf Hakimi and Naïef Aguerd are joined by Kalidou Koulibaly and Arthur Masuaku of Senegal and DR Congo, respectively. The midfield is dominated by the Atlas Lions of Morocco, Azzedine Ounahi, Sofiane Amrabat, as well as Senegal's Lamine Camara and Gelson Dalla of Angola. The attack is unsurprisingly led by Emilion Lopez of Equatorial Guinea. Group A. A thrilling Africa Cup of Nations group stage reached its conclusion on Wednesday as the remaining knockout places were set. Hosts Ivory Coast, who were thrashed by Equatorial Guinea 4-0 in their final group game, squeezed through to keep their chances of home soil alive. Group B. They were one of the 4 best third-placed finishers, Vim and Ghana the unlucky to come third in their group but suffer elimination after suffering from 2 late equalizer goals, which caused snacking of their manager and unrest among Ghanaian fans across Ivory Coast. Group C. Cameroon also reached the knockout phase, despite failing to impress during their opening 3 games. They struggled to qualify in the group. They are supposed to have easy qualification behind Senegal. Group D heavyweights Algeria were also sent home in a major shock as the 2019 finalists finished bottom of Group D. This is another disappointment for Algeria, which are yet to win match at the CAF Afcon since they won the tournament in 2019. Group E. South Africa booked their place in the last 16 of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations following a battling 0-0 draw against Tunisia, a result that sees the latter crash out of the tournament having finished bottom of Group E. In a game of few meaningful chances, Bafana Bafana did enough to keep the 2004 winners at bay and advance to the next round of the competition. Group F. Morocco, meanwhile, were expected to be strong challengers following their World Cup heroics in Qatar and seem to have warranted that tag, qualifying for the knockout stages with a game to spare. The stage is officially set for the TotalEnergies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Côte d'Ivoire 2023 knockout stages after the third and final round of group matches took place on Wednesday, January 24, to confirm the 16 teams that qualified for the round of 16. CAF Online takes a look at the highlights of the final round of group fixtures. 1. Mauritania qualified for the round of 16 for the first time. Against Algeria, they also obtained their first ever TotalEnergies CAF Afcon win 8 matches. 2. This is also the first time that Senegal has made 3 out of 3 in the group stage of the competition. The Lions of Tirana did this, with 8 goals scored against 1 conceded. 3. It is the second consecutive TotalEnergies CAF Afcon that Algeria is eliminated in the group stage and without any victory. In 2021, the Phoenix collected 1 point and in 2023, 2 points. 4. 3 goals scored from penalties between Mozambique, 1, and Ghana, 2, highest total in a single TotalEnergies CAF African Cup of Nations match. 5. Equatorial Guinean Emilionsu finishes the group stage with 5 goals. He is the second player to achieve such a performance at this stage of the competition since the Ivorian legend, Laurent Poku, 7 goals in 1970. 6. Nigeria have reached the knockout stage in each of their last 15 appearances of the competition, the longest in the history of the tournament. 7. Against Equatorial Guinea, Côte d'Ivoire suffered its biggest defeat. The Elephants had never lost a TotalEnergies CAF Afcon match by a margin of 4 goals before. 8. 5 coaches left their post at the end of the group stages. Tom Saintfiet, Gambia; Chris Hughton, Ghana; Jalal Kadri, Tunisia; Jamal Belmadi, Algeria; and Jean-Louis Gasset, Côte d'Ivoire. 9. 3 matches finished 0-0 in the final round of group matches. Namibia, Mali, Tanzania, DR Congo, and Tunisia, South Africa. 10. 24 goals were scored, fewer than during the first day of the group stage. The second day saw 38 goals. Abidjan Airport have been busy with baggages and crowd exiting Ivory Coast. Thousands of fans traveled across the world to watch their teams, and some were disappointed and heightened with their national teams. Some managers were sacked and few resigned after elimination. Likewise, some players left the tournament with agony after elimination at the group stage. Continue to join us on Sports Catalog on in-depth analysis at the ongoing Afcon in Ivory Coast. Stay tuned as you get notification on our channel, and make sure you share, like and comment.